Welcome on in to the 7th episode of Around the Big Sky, presented by Jimmy Johns. I'm Blake Barington.
And I'm Karl Hunt.
Today, we'll take a look at what's been going on in Big Sky volleyball, golf, cross country, and soccer. We'll also be joined by Idaho State sophomore outside hitter Duquesne Morasca and Montana senior thrower and Big Sky SAC vice president Darby Henthorn. First, let's take a look at what's been happening in Big Sky volleyball.
Northern Colorado continues to dominate the conference standings and is currently 8-0 in league play. This past week, the Bears defeated Sacramento State and Portland State to keep their 8-game win streak alive, a streak that dates back to September 26th. Idaho holds on to sole possession of second place after winning both matches last week against Northern Arizona and Southern Utah. Both matches were a 3-1 decision. Montana State and Sacramento State sit in a tie and ran out the top three spots in the conference standings with a 5-3 record. Both teams split their two matches last week, with the Bobcats picking up a win against Idaho State and the Hornets winning against Portland State. Big Sky Offensive Player of the Week honors went to Weber State's Danny Ney. Ney averaged 4.43 kills per set and totaled 31 kills as the Wildcats went 2-0 on the week and had a 36% hitting percentage. Big Sky Defensive Player of the Week honors went to Idaho State's Duquesne Morasca. Morasca helped the Bengals go 1-1 last week and totaled 21 digs and had 9 blocks at her outside hitter position. The sophomore recorded double-digit digs for the sixth time this season, with a weekly high of 13 coming against Montana State. Joining us now on Around the Big Sky is Idaho State sophomore outside hitter Duquesne Moratzka. Thanks for joining us. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing really well. Now, this is your second season after a really good freshman year. What was your focus in the off-season as you prepared for the 2019 season?
Personally, I had never lifted in high school or anything, so I was really trying to focus on the weight room and get stronger so I could come back and be better for my team.
Have you seen that pay off on the court this year?
Yeah, more than I thought. I didn't think it would make that big of a difference, and I was like, oh, I'm jumping higher. Oh, that's harder than I've ever swung before, and it's just kind of weird and kind of cool.
So what's one of your favorite things about playing volleyball at Idaho State?
My teammates, for sure. We're all so close, and if any of us have a problem, we can have like a big group meeting and have like all these different opinions and come to a good solution to the problem, and it's just great having that kind of support in all aspects of your life.
Now, you're kind of a second-generation student-athlete at Idaho State. Your father played basketball there. Did you always want to be a Bengal?
Kind of the opposite. My dad was always telling me when I was a kid, like, Idaho State is the Harvard of the West. Like, you need to go there. And I was like, well, now I don't want to because you're going to have all these stories and never let me live this down. And then I came on my visit, and I just fell in love with it. And I was like, okay, I get it now.
So what do you enjoy about Idaho State just as a university?
One of the big draws for me was the amazing speech pathology program that they have here. And academics are obviously really important to me, so I was really attracted to that. And then just, the volleyball team, like I said before, is just amazing. So all good things.
Now, you mentioned your major was speech pathology. Do you have plans right now when you graduate to do that? I know that's a little bit down the road, but do you kind of have an idea of what you want to do?
Well, I have to go and get my master's, and then I have to decide if I want to work with, like, children or adults, and then leaning more towards adults, but I don't have a real set plan at the moment, but I'm working on it.
Now, you were named the Big Sky Defensive Player of the Week, and your stat lines have usually been very offensive heavy this year. Does this award help kind of validate what you're trying to do on defense and your defensive playmaking ability?
Yeah, for sure. I've been a middle for most of my volleyball career, so defense and digging has always been a little bit of a less confident area for me, and this has just, helped me realize that I'm better than I think and that I can do what I want to, that I can help my team be the best that we can.
Now, when you aren't practicing or studying, what do you like to do in your spare time?
We watch a lot of Netflix, and I hang out with my friends a lot, usually. We get to hang out with other athletes and hear about other sports teams and how they're doing, and we have a good time, go bowling or go and play other sports, so it's fun.
What is something that if your teammates knew about you, they would be surprised?
The reason I am a speech pathology major is because I was born hearing impaired, and I had to go through speech pathology training myself when I was a kid.
thanks for joining us, and good luck as you guys finish out the rest of the season. We're halfway through conference play, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much.
To stay up to date with the Big Sky Conference, follow us on Facebook by searching Big Sky Conference and at Big Sky Conf on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Moving over to Big Sky Golf. Northern Arizona was the lone women's team in action last week, competing at Florida International's Pat Bradley Invitational. Senior Emma Reyes captured Big Sky Women's Golfer of the Week honors with a 7 over par 223 to finish tied for 38th in the field. The women close out the fall season next week. NAU, Portland State, and Idaho compete in the Las Vegas Collegiate Showdown, while Sacramento State and Weber State are in action at Hawaii's Rainbow Wahine Invitational. On the men's side, Hartford's Manuel Romero was named Big Sky Golfer of the Week following a career-low 4 under par 209 at the Old Dominion Outer Banks Collegiate in North Carolina last weekend. 3 men's teams wrap up their fall slate next week. Hartford attends the Innsbruck Invitational in Florida, while Idaho and Sacramento State are in action in Hawaii. When we come back, we'll take a look at Big Sky cross country and soccer and visit with Montana's Darby Henthorn.
Need a hotel for work or just a night away? With over 50 hotels open and more on the way, we want to be your home away from home. My Place Hotels is proud to be the official hotel of the Big Sky Conference.
Welcome back to Around the Big Sky. 3 Big Sky cross-country teams made appearances in the USTF CCCA National Poll this week. The Northern Arizona men held on to their number 1 ranking, claiming a 4th straight Nuttycombe Invite Trophy last weekend in Wisconsin. The Lumberjacks are ranked first for the 27th consecutive week, which ties an NCAA modern era record. Southern Utah climbed to 19th in the poll after previously receiving votes. On the women's side, Northern Arizona is tied for 11th as the Lumberjacks jumped an impressive 16 spots in the poll. NAU's Luis Grijalva was named the Big Sky Male Athlete of the Week after an 8K time of 23 minutes and 43 seconds to finish 5th at the Nuttycombe Invite. It was his 3rd top 5 finish of the season. Montana's June Eastwood claimed Big Sky Female Athlete of the Week honors following a 2nd place finish in a field of 204 at the Santa Clara Bronco Invitational. Eastwood timed 20 minutes and 18 seconds in the 6K race. The Big Sky Cross Country Championships are set for Saturday, November 2nd at the Boomerang Links in Greeley, Colorado, hosted by Northern Colorado. The women's race begins the day at 10 a.m., followed by the men's race at 11 a.m.
The Big Sky Conference airs all of its live stream sporting events on Pluto TV for free, including up to 700 football, men's and women's basketball, volleyball, and selected soccer, softball, and track and field events. Watch online at www.pluto.tv or download the app. Big Sky Soccer has just 1 week left in the regular season. 4 teams clinched the first tournament bids last weekend, with Eastern Washington, Montana, Northern Colorado, and Sacramento State punching their postseason tickets. Montana collected 4 points at home last weekend to remain in first place in the Big Sky at 5-0-2 with 17 points. The Grizz defeated Portland State while playing Sacramento State to a scoreless draw. Montana has allowed just 1 goal in conference play. Eastern Washington claimed its 5th straight win as the Eagles took down Southern Utah and Northern Arizona at home. EWU is outscoring opponents 13-2 in conference play to sit in second at 5-0-1 with 16 points. Northern Colorado slipped to third after a home loss to Sacramento State while defeating Portland State. The Bears are 4-2-2 with 14 points heading into the week. Sacramento State sits 1 point back at 3-0-4, the 3rd team in the Big Sky to remain unbeaten in conference play. The Hornets look to set a Big Sky unbeaten streak record this week as they ride a 15-match unbeaten streak, which is tied for the longest in the nation. The Hornets look to surpass Portland State's 16-match unbeaten streak record that took place during the 2013 and 2014 seasons. Northern Arizona and Portland State are currently 5th and 6th in the standings, while Weber State, Idaho State, and Idaho also remain in contention for the final 2 tournament berths. Idaho's Taylor Bruss captured Big Sky Offensive Player of the Week honors after scoring goals in each of the Vandals matches last week against Northern Arizona and Southern Utah. Sac State's Aaliyah Fazili posted shutouts against Montana and Northern Colorado on the road to earn defensive honors. In action this week, Portland State and Sacramento State welcome in Eastern Washington and Idaho in key matchups for all teams. Northern Arizona and Southern Utah play host to Weber State and Idaho State, while Northern Colorado hosts Montana. The Big Sky Soccer Championship is November 6th through the 10th in Greeley, Colorado at Northern Colorado's Jackson Stadium. The top 6 teams in the standings at the end of the regular season qualify for the conference tournament. Tickets are on sale now by calling 970-351-4849 or by visiting tickets.unco.edu.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
Next, let's welcome in our final guest today, Montana senior Darby Henthorn. Darby, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. So what made you decide to become a SAC member on your campus?
Well, I made the decision as a freshman, so it was a long time ago, but I really just wanted to get more involved around campus and try to get to know more student athletes outside of my team. And so I was talking to the SAC rep at the time, who was a senior, and she thought it was pretty perfect that I would take her place.
So what has been some of the most memorable community service events that you've been a part of as a SAC member?
There's been quite a few, but I think the most rewarding that I've done is last year, the University of Montana's SAC group collected 300 T-shirts from around the community, and then we took them to one of the elementary schools around in Missoula, and we actually went and handed them out to each and every student at the school and had an assembly for it. And I just think handing the Grizz T-shirts out to other students and to see the looks on their faces when they got a Grizz T-shirt from a Grizz athlete was really, really rewarding.
So you're now the vice president for the Big Sky SAC. Why did you decide to run for that position?
I didn't really decide until about a few hours before, and I just thought that it would be a really good leadership role. I think that I just was excited to be more involved and to have more of a say and just kind of work towards what our big goals were, essentially.
So you recently went to Indianapolis to represent the Big Sky Conference at the National D1 SAC meetings. How was that experience for you?
It was incredible. I was really nervous going into it, and I knew I would be pretty intimidated at the meeting, but everybody was so welcoming and helpful, and just being surrounded by that many passionate student athletes and really using our voice to speak up for all the athletes all around, it was one of the coolest things I think I've ever done.
So this past weekend, you and Big Sky SAC President Justice Luttrell from Northern Colorado took part in the Big Sky Fall meetings here in Salt Lake City. What was that like for you to be among the athletic directors, SWAs, and faculty athletic reps and sharing that student-athlete voice to everyone?
It was really cool. I wasn't quite sure what to expect going into it, especially leaving the Indianapolis trip, but it's just really, it really means a lot to see how much the ADs, SWAs, and the FARs listen to student-athlete voice, and they really, really do want to do what's best for our student athletes in like our community. And I think just to be able to share our opinion and then hear feedback from all of them and all their expertise, it really was beneficial. And I think it helped Justice and I kind of clarify why we're doing what we're doing and where we need to go in the future.
So what's it been like for you balancing studies, SAC responsibilities, and your athletic schedule?
Pretty difficult. I think it's hard too because I am very passionate about this SAC stuff, and I sometimes would prefer to just work on that. But obviously school is just as important, and so is being on the track team and staying up with training. And so it's been difficult, but I think it's really easy to be motivated and be so passionate about this stuff.
So you're a Missoula native. What's it been like to not only go to college there, but compete for your hometown university?
It's everything that I could have ever asked for. I think the Missoula community is so supportive, and I just really can't picture myself being anywhere else.
Well, Darby, we appreciate you taking the time. Best of luck this season. Track season's quickly approaching, so best of luck.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. That's Montana senior Darby Henthorn.
That's a wrap on this week's show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week to talk more Big Sky sports. Until then, I'm Karl Hunt.
And I'm Blake Barington.
On Around the Big Sky.